guys, welcome back to the channel where I cover missing persons, unsolved cases, crime news, and more. Well, tomorrow is the sentencing for Sarah Boone, and yours truly, I will be there in the courtroom. I unfortunately had to miss the trial due to work, but I have tomorrow completely cleared, and I plan on arriving in the morning to ensure that I get a seat in Judge Kraynick's courtroom. Now, she is up for anywhere from 16 years to life in prison. I believe Judge Kraynick will give her potentially life, if not 30 or more years, hopefully, considering he's not going to take it easy on her as far as I'm concerned. And remember, she rejected the 15-year plea deal that the state offered her at the beginning of the trial, and as well as the plea deal that they offered her initially not long after she was arrested, and she rejected that one as well. So at this point, Sarah Boone has rejected 2 different plea deals, so she didn't have to go to trial. Her sentencing is tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. in the Orange County Courthouse. And like I said, I think this is going to be quite the hammer down from Judge Kraynick after everything that we've all been through. The courts, everyone. And of course, George, who is the victim in all of this. Now, he has not ruled on the appeal that she's asking for a new trial, and there isn't much going on her docket on the Orange County clerk's website. There is an 8-page investigation report that they asked for before the sentencing tomorrow. Unfortunately, it is not publicly available at this point, and I actually did email and ask because, hey, you don't ask, you don't get, folks. But I'm sure we're going to hear all about it tomorrow, and I will do my best to report to you guys from the courtroom. I don't know if I'm going to be able to have my cell phone on in there, and I'll probably try to do a live stream. I know I don't really do them here, but hey, sometimes you gotta do a live stream. So make sure you have your notifications on, just in case I decide to do a live stream and not just some video that I'll put together later. This is some of the family of George Torres speaking with Court TV. This was about a month ago. I hadn't covered it here on the channel yet, so thought it would be perfect to show right now, the evening before her sentencing.
Now, George Torres' family is speaking out this morning, saying that he's being unfairly depicted as an abuser and that it was Sarah Boone who was the real aggressor. Now, since early in this case, we've seen evidence of Boone's problems with Torres' family.
To know what we're here, what we're investigating, and that they're going to think I killed him.
Why would they think that?
They always have said that. They've always have said that. I told you it's because I'm the blue-eyed white dragon. That's what they call me. Because they don't want him with me. So he's basically just not really been around his family because he chooses me over them.
I want to welcome in our special guests now. We have George Torres' oldest daughter, Ana Victoria Torres, with us. We also have Dolores Ortiz with us, who is George Torres' first wife, and she also brought with her this morning her youngest daughter, Destiny. First of all, my heart goes out to all of you, and for all of us here at Court TV. We are so sorry for your loss. Thank you for coming on the show, and I know that you really want to clear the air. And Ana Victoria, I know you've wanted to kind of be the family spokesperson, so I want to start with you, please. The way that your dad has been depicted as being an abuser in this trial, I know that it has upset you and you felt it's very unfair. Tell us why.
Story, and unfortunately we are the voices now, and the way the trial has gone and the way things have taken place have nobody has ever contacted us to hear our story or ask us questions in regards to our father, his character, or the relationship between him and Sarah Boone. Me and my siblings actually spoke to our father that night, and we have a lot of experiences with Miss Boone that do not speak to what the media is stating she is, a victim or a gentle individual. I'm sure she's loved over there at jail due to the fact that Sarah Boone is very, very calculated. She by no means is a kind and sweet, soft-spoken woman. She is very calculated, very devious, very conniving. My father was sheltered and berated. He was kept from us. He was the real victim in this situation.
I really feel for this family, and when I originally heard this, I couldn't believe that law enforcement hadn't, or the DA's office, hasn't spoken to this family. Obviously, they're quite aware of the relationship that was had between their father, or George and Sarah, and we all know, we believe them, and we know. And again, the jury saw right through her garbage as well. I'm sure all, or if not, a good portion of this family is going to make some victim impact statements during sentencing, and I feel for them. I really, really do. They lost their father, their loved one, through a horrible act of abuse.
Unfortunately, again, as stated, he is not here to tell his story, but we are here to give his side the best we can from the view that we were able to see things.
Sure. Anna Victoria, in one of the videos that we've all seen, Sarah Boone told police that George's family didn't like her, and that they referred to her as the blue-eyed white dragon. Would you talk about where that nickname came from, and if it's true that you all didn't like her, and in particular, why?
I can definitely answer that. As far as the nickname is concerned, that was created all through Sarah's little brain. Other than that, she was definitely correct as far as us not liking her, and she should have stated that she didn't like us either, because that is very much correct as well. She, like I stated, is very evil, and what she is acting out there on the stand and within that courtroom is baffling to me, because that is not the real Sarah Boone.
I think we all have seen that, and it's sad that this family has not been able to speak out. And again, I think the best way they're going to be able to do so is through interviews like this. And the biggest time that they will need to speak out and make an impact will be tomorrow at 1:30 in front of Judge Kraynick in his courtroom.
At all. But yeah, she was correct. We don't like her. We didn't like her. That will never change. Unfortunately, I do feel bad for her, and I wish her the best. But what I do wish is that my father receives his justice, and she gets the time that she deserves. And a slap on the wrist is not it. Other than that, as far as a relationship with Sarah, one that was a good one, there wasn't one. We definitely tried, but she did not.
Anna Victoria, thank you for sharing all of that. I want to go to your mom now. Dolores, you were married to George for 14 years. I have three beautiful children with him. Two of them are here with us today, Destiny and Anna Victoria. We understand that at one point, Sarah Boone tried to fight you. Tell us about that.
Not per se fight me, because I want to say that we've had one engagement, which was for my children's birthday party that they attended later in the evening. So I really have never had like a confrontation. It was made verbal over the phone. She had threatened me a couple times to come over and that she would dust her doormat for myself and my daughters. But it was basically verbal threats that she would give every time that George would call his children. Any chance that he had, that he was able to call his children to speak, and I was present, it was a problem for George. She was very much jealous of me, for what reason I'm not aware of. But we never had physical, altercations.
Well, and that's a very good thing. Tell us, Dolores, during your marriage to George, was he ever violent with you or any of your kids?
He was never violent with my children. We would have normal husband and wife family spats here and there, but never to the point where police were ever involved, DHS was ever involved. We were never that type of family. I can't relate to Sarah and the abuse that she so-called claims that she's received from George, because I never received abuse like that. I want to say the only thing that I can say about George is that he was a ladies' man.
And I think she should have testified to that, but thankfully the jury didn't need that. And that would probably have put them through more stress and trauma, but obviously George was not the aggressor. It was Sarah. And I think that she doesn't like the ex-wife and the children and what have you, because she did not want to share George. I think she wanted George all to herself.
Gotcha. Okay. And so just to be very clear here, did anything physical ever take place in terms of physical violence that he inflicted on you?
No.
Okay. And thank you for that. I know these are very personal questions, but we really want to get everything out here and get your side of all this, as everyone in the courtroom isn't hearing it. Destiny, we're so happy to have you here. You were a surprise this morning. We knew Anna Victoria was coming on, and your mom, and we're so glad to see you too. What would you like to say about your dad, the kind of person that he was? What would you like the world to know about him?
My dad was an amazing person. He was my best friend. Nobody's perfect, but my dad was very loving. Everybody loved him back. He didn't deserve what happened to him. I don't think anybody deserves to die like that. I was 15 when it happened. I ended up being very depressed and going through suicidal thoughts and things of that nature. Yeah, we're just really trying to get my dad justice.
That breaks my heart. She's the youngest child of George. She was just 15 years old when Sarah murdered him. She took away her father. And not only did she take away her father, she caused this teenager to think about taking her own. And that's horrific. And I hope for her sake that she truly gets the justice for her father. But the justice is served tomorrow at sentencing.
We know you are. We know you are. And Anna Victoria, back to you really quickly. You said that no one has reached out to you. Has the prosecutor's office reached out to your family?
As far as my father's mother, his father, his siblings are concerned, they have been communicated with due to the fact that they do live in Orlando. I live in Philadelphia, but nonetheless, I have communicated with the attorneys. The only thing I would say is I've never been contacted in regards to who my father was. I'm not sure if Sarah Boone deleted the calls or anything like that, but I'm sure those things were able to be, brought back up. But my siblings and I spoke to our father that night, and I do think that our encounter and what took place over the phone is very valuable to the case, as well as what their relationship was like and what Ms. Boone's plans may have been that night. Again, whether they have been premeditated or not, in my opinion, they very much were, due to the character of Sarah and all the experiences that we've had with her. But
what did your dad say on the phone?
If we were contacted,
Victoria?
things could have been much better. So nothing in specific, but we talked on the phone for months at a time, every so often. I would say that I spoke to my father at least 3 times a week, maybe more. And we would stay on the phone as long as he possibly could stay on the phone with me, without Sarah getting agitated or whatever the case may be.
Sure.
I can't really put into words the way she would act.
Yeah. You all got to know a different Sarah Boone.
Just talked all the time, sure. And my father that day seemed very uneasy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, again, we are so sorry for your loss, and would love to continue the conversation with you as we're getting close to the jury getting the case. Anna Victoria, Dolores, Destiny, thank you all for coming on Opening Statements.
I would love to hear more interviews and more from George's family, because I feel like he has not had enough of a voice. And so that's why I'm really hoping tomorrow at sentencing, his family will give him more of that. All right, guys, I hope you have a great rest of the day. And most of all, stay safe.